Flash Force, middle-aged women superheroes save democracy with the Broadway All-Star Repertory Company featuring, in alphabetical order, Lucie Arnaz, Judy Blazer, Donna Lynne Champlin, Jason Graae, Kevin Isola, Kecia Lewis, Nancy Opel, Linda Purl, Emily Skinner, and Karen Ziemba. In the middle of the New Mexico desert, in a top-secret ranch commandeered for high-level training, in between bookings as an AirB&B, our superheroes have just finished their week of indoctrination into the astounding new powers they now possess, and the dangerous mission to save the world that lies just ahead of them. These 5 women from the theater, formerly members of a helplessness therapy group, plus a French-speaking flying cat with boundaries issues, have been instructed in the deadly arts and powers for good in a grueling boot camp that has pushed their bodies and minds to the limit. Chapter 4, Area 52. Your narrator, Suzanne.
That morning, we were sitting in what they called the Situation Room, which was actually somebody's questionably furnished living room with antlers on the walls next to the kitchen. We were waiting to hear how we did on our final field exams, in which they tested us on just how well we had learned to use our powers. And they were about to brief us on what would happen next, when we would be sent overseas to begin our mission. It had been a week of grueling boot camp that had pushed our bodies and minds to the limit.
He said that already. Were you not listening?
I'm telling this.
Biff.
I was impressed by how well we'd all done. Each of us had learned to master our new superpowers, or at least control them enough so the accidents weren't too bad. I had practiced annihilating both objects and crash dummies with words, and rendering large men helpless and writhing on the ground with pain, while the other girls honed their powers. Right now, Frida, our superhuman oracle and former therapist, stood 9 feet tall facing us at the front of the room. Next to her was the retired ex-commander of NATO, who'd been in charge of our training and was known to us only as the General. He would address us right now for the last time.
It was not the last time.
It was.
He would do it once more before...
Stop it! He addressed us.
Women, during this past week, you have been pushed beyond all endurance. I'd be lying if I didn't say that, frankly, I was surprised a group of women could pull this off without collapsing or giving up. But you took it all like men. I'm impressed. You got cojones.
Excuse me, General, darling. I don't mean to interrupt. I know this is a big moment, but honestly, a little advice. 21st century, hello?
Well, I'm not sure what you...
These women kicked the asses off all your male trainers from the ex-Marines.
You think Wonder Woman had to put up with this?
Probably.
I love Wonder Woman. Will we get to meet her?
I made myself a Wonder Woman costume as a kid, but my mother wouldn't let me wear it. She said it was too revealing and Jesus would cry.
Girls, that's enough. General?
Thank you, Frida. Women, as you know, the organization ORWELL has already been tremendously successful in destabilizing democracy and world order, installing their operatives at the highest level of governments. Putin, Trump, ORWELL's pawns. Their goal is to spread disinformation, sow hatred, division, and confusion in order to turn democratic governments into authoritarian regimes right in public view with the help of lawmakers watching their own heinies. Over this 1 week, you have been uniquely trained to stop all this.
Yeah. General? Who exactly are we working for? If it's not the U.S. government.
The opposition, a worldwide top-secret offshoot of the Nobel Peace Prize Committee. Nobel organization weaponized against authoritarian yahoos. Or No Way with 2 A's. Now remember, there's no place on Earth that hasn't been infiltrated. Trust no one. It's all up to you 5. You'll be shipped out tomorrow morning at 0600. Godspeed. Frida will brief you on this week's mission.
I'm sorry, but does anyone else feel that we have not received enough information in 6.5 days to be equipped to save the world?
I'm with you. I think it's bullshit suicide.
I don't know. I feel pretty good about it.
Okay, darlings, we've got a lot to do. You all had assignments. Let's hear how you did. Talk to me. Wait, let me put up a map. Okay, Suzanne, you go first. What do you have for us?
All right. Orwell's next plot is to unleash a blitz of disinformation on social media, that the American Revolution was a hoax and that the United States really belongs to Russia because it was ceded by King George to the Tsar in 1770. To fund this, Orwell is getting $1 billion gift from the Siberian fertilizer king, Boris Reminsky, who's a friend of Putin's. We'll be going to his Mediterranean villa tomorrow, posing as entertainers for his wife's birthday party. I found out that Boris has 3 weaknesses. Prostitutes, his dead mother. He spent millions on psychics to contact her, even though she was a bitch.
And the third?
The Bee Gees.
Good work. Pam?
His wife seems like a frustrated everything. She was a beauty queen from some Soviet satellite I can't pronounce. She and Boris both love show tunes. When she was a child, she auditioned for an Eastern Bloc tour of Annie, but didn't get in. And it's haunted her ever since. I think she'll glom onto everything about us. And she'll definitely want to sing with us.
Oh, God. There's always one in every barrel.
I've never booked a birthday party in my life. I can't believe my career's come to this.
Eyes on the prize, girls. Eyes on the prize. Pam, go on.
Well, she's arrogant and insecure. But she's dreamed her whole life of being, well, us. So we should have a lot of sway over her. She's very easily flattered.
It is to me so astounding that you humans can be flattered so easily. You are like dogs, always seeking approval from anyone around you indiscriminately. Descartes said...
Did anyone ask for your opinion?
That is my point exactly.
Good, Pam. I agree with you, Claude. Carolyn?
Oh, I've been busy. In the first place, I did a study of what kind of security Boris has got guarding the place. Well, I thought maybe it's like some old James Bond movie with beautiful young girls in go-go boots doing karate. But oh no, it's nothing but men, far as the eye can see. So, we're all set. We need to get in any part of the house? I've got it covered.
And I know there's something else you want to tell us.
Okay, girls, costume fitting tonight.
We're really going to wear costumes?
All superheroes got to have costumes. I hope mine has spangles.
Ooh, what do they look like?
Weren't we supposed to have a say in this, Frida?
I'm fine as long as it's not constricting. And I can't do turtlenecks.
Tonight. You'll find out then.
Trust me, I've seen them. You'll like. Elizabeth and Celia, what do you have to tell us?
We went over all the surveillance and computer systems. There's a secret server in the room behind the wine cellar that's drilled into the cliff. It's guarded by a dog. I couldn't find out what the dog looks like, but it's supposed to be huge with yellow eyes and some kind of strange breed nobody's ever seen before. And it's never been out of the cellar, so it can only see in the dark. Also, every room where there's a computer has a steel vault door.
Yeah, they all have electromagnetic stun fields, but I should be able to blast through any of those. Also, magnetically pull out the contents of any hard drive or server, and jam or reroute any kind of signal. I've had a busy week. I hope I'll be able to remember it all.
You'll be fine, darling. It'll be like riding a bicycle. Oh, one more thing. You understand that not only do you have to stop Boris from making that $1 billion transfer to Orwell, but Boris has got to die. One of you will have to kill him. You decide which one. Now, girls, have you eaten?
I've never killed anybody before.
Suzanne, you say that like any of us has. Why is it so annoying?
I wasn't trying to be annoying. I was just saying it.
I have in my dreams. Oh, people always think I'm the nice one, but you should see what goes on in my subconscious.
I have a list, but I've never done anything about it.
I have. Mice, mostly. The occasional bird when I can get one.
It's just something to think about, you know? It's something we've never dealt with before.
I knew this journey would be full of conflicts for all of you, but we'll work on it. It's all about new skills. Normally, it's not something we condone in therapy. We try and develop our psyches to move away from killing in favor of other ways to engage. But this is different. Suzanne, you have the superpower to annihilate with words. It's not really killing so much as evaporating with words yet. No guns. Poof.
I mean, I get that. And I know it's about saving the world.
And only bad people.
Right. But doesn't that idea raise issues of moral equivalency and undermine how we're taught to coexist in the universal human continuum?
You're not wrong, but you're giving me a migraine.
You can still get a migraine? Can we?
It's an expression, darling.
I'm a Quaker and I get it. If Hitler...
I'm not saying I don't get it. I'm just saying...
She's just saying it's a new idea.
Thank you, Celia.
Okay, not actually kill dead. all right? Annihilate and render permanently harmless. Suzanne, you know you can be very literal. We need to work on that. Look, girls, I realize what a change this is in your lives. Nobody knows that more than me, and I know I am responsible. I pulled you out of your lives. You're helpless, very unhappy with yourselves' lives, mind you, and I gave you a new life. A different one you didn't ask for, and one you didn't have a choice in. But I really believe in each one of you, and in doing this, I know that each one of you will become your better selves. Without this, maybe you would have changed. I am, after all, a very good therapist, but I think it's more likely that you would have lived out the rest of your lives never understanding what you have within you, or what you have in each other. And there's the saving the world thing. We will figure this out together. Do you get what I mean?
You're right.
I hear you.
I'd still be paralyzed.
I have no problem pulverizing anyone who needs it. Let me at 'em.
Finally, a human with a soul.
Tonight you'll be taken by military plane from a secret airfield nearby and flown to another secret airfield in the Mediterranean. There, you'll be met by your bus.
Not that fucking bus again. Can't we just rent a car?
Darling, you'll learn to love it. I promise you, it's funky. But first, the results of your final exams. I know it wasn't easy, and the training time was cut down to a week, but you all passed with flying colors. Elizabeth, you showed courage and strength. Suzanne, your mastery of words is decimating. Pam, you weaponized radical truth. Celia, it was real kicky watching you take out that last row of tanks left over from the first Gulf War. But Carolyn, you get special mention with your body empowerment. When you seduced the gay computer engineer, every single examiner put you at the top of the class. Congratulations! I flew in a chocolate babka for a little celebration. How these Goyische people eat around here is beyond me.
We toasted each other with the chocolate babka and went off to pack. Then we were driven to the secret airfield in the desert and loaded onto a military plane. We took off into the darkness. Sitting on the plane, everyone was suddenly quiet. It was like the events of the last 2 weeks had suddenly caught up with us, and we were all overwhelmed at the same time. 2 weeks ago, we were just out of work therapy patients, wondering if we'd ever get another theater gig. Now we were being sent off to possibly die, armed with powers we barely understood, and having to come up with a cheesy concert before we landed. Elizabeth sat apart from us, texting on her phone.
Why don't you come sit over here?
I'm texting my kids. I don't know if I'll get the chance to do it,
Or what?
or maybe not ever see them again.
Oh, come on.
We don't know.
I guess, but you can't think like that.
She's right, Elizabeth. Come over here, Bubby. All of you girls.
I'm scared.
When you say scared, what do you mean? Is it fear? Is it dread? Do you feel it in your body? Are you projecting into the future?
All those things. Whatever it is that you think we're supposed to be doing, I don't think I'll be able to do.
One of the most important things we can learn is how to live with uncertainty. Nothing in life is certain.
Is that supposed to make me feel better? Why does everybody say that? Like it's supposed to make you feel better. It doesn't.
Suzanne, you're looking like you want to raise your hand.
I just wonder why it is that when we're on a stage, we can do anything. We know who we are, we're sure of ourselves, and no matter what happens up there, we can deal with it. With all those people watching, up there, we are not helpless. But everywhere else...
Is real life. I know it's ironic, isn't it? Paradoxical. If we weren't going to land in a few minutes, I'd have us discuss. But we will, I promise.
Come on, time to get up and stretch. Move it, everybody. We're going to stretch those T-bands and move those asses. No blood clots here.
Why must you speak so loudly? It is already difficult to sleep on a plane.
You two, on your feet.
Tais-toi, shut up.
I looked around and realized that Frida was gone. She was not on the plane with us anymore. Just then, Carolyn came in with a rack of costumes.
Here they are, what you've been waiting for.
They're red!
I'm not wearing that.
Try them on. Don't judge.
Red and silver? Fabulous!
How am I supposed to put that on?
Well, you'd need a can opener.
I didn't ask you.
You don't actually put them on. You just it'll just happen. We transform into them, like in the movies.
Wait a minute. These are all the same. Matching outfits? You made us matching outfits? That's horrifying. We'll look like the Pointer Sisters.
They're all cut differently.
No, this whole thing is hard enough as it is without matchy-matchy.
I would like a cape. Something light, not looking like it's trying too hard.
Just give them a chance.
I love mine. This makes me feel like somebody fierce. I may never take it off.
Fortunately, it was time to land. Sometimes the universe has its own definition of mercy. We were all exhausted, but it was morning in the Mediterranean. We went out and squinted in the sun and the bright blue sky.
Which is when you put me in this cat carrier.
Don't interrupt.
Disgusting and tiny and smells.
We were taken by a black car up
This abuse was not what we had.
You're a cat, a pet. How'd you expect to get in there with us? Fly in with your cape?
Biff.
We drove up the winding side of a mountain to the very top, to an enormous McVilla overlooking the ocean. We pulled up into the circular driveway, and a man and woman I knew from their dossiers were the Reminskys, were standing in front of the house, waiting to greet us.
Hello. Welcome all you talented, wonderful American Broadway women. I am Natasha, and this is my husband, Boris. We are so honored and happy you have come to make my birthday party a real celebration with the gift of music. I have followed every one of you and your brilliant careers. Music is great love, a hobby for both of us. Is that not right, Boris? Music and sport.
Yes. I bet you think I'm American, huh? This morning, I buy American football team. Go Giants!
Mr. Reminsky, I am so happy to meet you. You look even taller in person.
We're very happy to be here.
You must be much exhausted from long journey. Flavio and I will show you to your rooms. Flavio does everything around here. You will learn.
Please, come with me. I will show you to your rooms. I hope you like grapes. I put grapes in all the rooms.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know what we would do without Flavio. He will also be your pianist too. We must talk about what you will think at my party. You know I flatter myself that I am one of you. I was child actress. It is sad story, mine. I was to be in major European tour of Annie, this scruffy little orphan girl, and I had conflict, and it was not to be. It was great disappointment to my young life, but these are the things that make us stronger, no? Tomorrow is only a day away. The sun will come out. Tomorrow. Come, Flavio, the bags. We leave Boris to make more money.
Well, we look forward to your singing with us.
Ugh, really? Only if you insist.
But we do. What a magnificent home you have, Natasha.
They led us through room after room, chandeliered hallway after hallway. Suddenly, exhaustion overcame all of us.
Perhaps you think program of all Andrew Lloyd Webber. I like that cuts.
Here are your rooms.
Could we share?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Nonsense. You each have your own suite.
All of them with stunning views of the ocean and the rocky cliffs that had us prisoner. Beautiful and savage, like our hostess. We each went into our rooms for what was maybe the last rest we would get before we began our mission of deceit and heroism and possible death. I was about to undress when there was a knock at the door. Yes?
Excuse me, miss.
Yes? Flavio?
I just wanted to warn you. Be very careful of the pussycat, won't you? There is a dog in the house, and we would not want anything to happen to the pussy. That would be a shame, wouldn't it?
I suddenly had a chill, and I realized that for us now, there was no going back.
Would they ever get off that cliff alive? Would they be able to stop the billion-dollar transfer of money that will destroy democracy? Would they actually have to sing an all-Andrew Lloyd Webber program in front of money-laundering billionaires who would see them dead if they knew why they were really there? Was Claude right about Descartes' theory of innate knowledge in this context? The answer was ahead of them. Flash Force, written and created by Deborah Grace Weiner, directed by Mark Waldrop. Music composed and sound designed by Nathan Scalzone. Edited and sound designed by April Tucker. Episode 4, our amazing cast. In order of appearance, Emily Skinner as Suzanne. Kevin Isola as Claude the cat. Kevin Isola as the General. Judy Blazer as Frida. Nancy Opel as Carolyn. Karen Ziemba as Pam. Kecia Lewis as Celia. Donna Champlin as Elizabeth. Lucie Arnaz as guest villain Natasha. Jason Graae as guest villain Boris. Jason Graae as Flavio. And I am your announcer, Kevin Isola.